There is something happening inside you right now that most people never stop long enough to notice. You are carrying a fear about something. Maybe it is losing someone you love. Maybe it is failing at something that matters deeply to you. Maybe it is being left, being rejected, being humiliated, or watching your life fall apart in some specific way that your mind has rehearsed 1,000 times. And that fear feels enormous. It feels like if that thing happened, you simply would not survive it. But here is what I need you to actually sit with today. You have already been through it, not a version of it, the real thing, the worst version, and you are still here. Think about the moment you were most afraid of before it happened. Think about the thing you used to lie awake dreading, the relationship ending, the door closing, the person walking away, the loss arriving. At some point that thing stopped being a fear and became a fact, and your brain, which had spent months or years building up catastrophic predictions about what that moment would do to you, had to reckon with something it never fully accounted for. You got through it, not cleanly, not without pain, but you got through it. Here is what is interesting about fear. It is almost always future-focused. It lives in a version of events that has not happened yet, which means your brain gets to fill in all the details without any interference from reality. And when you are the one writing the script, you naturally cast yourself as someone who cannot handle what is coming. You write yourself as fragile. You write the outcome as permanent. You write the pain as something that will never lift. But you have been the author of that story before, and every single time reality turned out to be more survivable than the version you imagined. There is a psychological reason this happens. When we anticipate pain, we experience it without any of the coping resources that automatically activate when the real thing arrives. When the actual difficult moment comes, something in you mobilizes. Perspective shifts, people show up, time moves. You adapt in ways you cannot predict in advance. But when you are only imagining the worst, you experience the fear without any of that. So the fear always feels bigger than the event ever actually turns out to be. Now I want you to think about something specific. What is the thing you are most afraid of right now? Name it honestly, not the surface version, the real one underneath. And then ask yourself this question. Have I already been through something that felt exactly like this would feel? Because the answer almost certainly is yes. The texture of the fear is familiar because the fear itself is not new. It is an echo. Your nervous system has cataloged a version of this threat before, and it is replaying the alarm, but you are no longer the same person who first heard it. This is not about pretending hard things are not hard. What you went through was real. The grief was real. The loss was real. The pain of those moments did not disappear because you survived them, but surviving them changed something in you that you may not have fully credited yourself for. You built a kind of quiet resilience that does not announce itself. It just shows up when you need it. And right now, as you sit with your current fear, that same resilience is already present. You just cannot see it yet, because it only becomes visible in the moment you actually need it. There is something almost cruel about the way anticipatory fear works. It keeps you in a constant state of bracing for impact against something that may never come, or something that, if it does come, you are far more equipped to handle than you currently believe. The dread costs you more than the event usually does. The waiting extracts a toll that the actual moment often does not. And so here is the real question this comes down to. If you have already survived the worst version of this, if you have already walked through the thing that scared you most and come out the other side carrying more wisdom, more depth, more understanding of your own capacity than you had before, what exactly are you protecting yourself from right now? What is the fear actually serving? Because sometimes fear is wise. It steers us away from genuine danger. But the fear you have been carrying about this particular thing, the fear that this time it will be different, that this time you will not make it through, that fear is not wisdom. It is a memory wearing the costume of a prediction. You have a record now, a real one, not a perfect record, Not a record free of pain and loss and genuine suffering, but a record of showing up on the other side of things you were certain would destroy you. That record is evidence, not the kind your fear wants you to look at, but evidence nonetheless. The version of you that was most afraid did not know what the version of you standing here today knows. You know something now that you could not have known then, that you are more capable of navigating hard things than the fear ever told you. And the next hard thing, whatever it turns out to be, will meet a version of you that has already proved something important. You have already survived the worst version of this. Let that land. Not as a platitude, not as something you nod at and forget. Let it actually change the way you are holding the fear right now, because the fear does not get the final word. Your history does, and your history says you are still here.